Hello, this is Mr. Kralichek again. We are moving into our argumentative paper. What we're going to be focusing on is writing an argument, presenting an argument, and being credible while we do it. I'm going to do this by going through several tips and tricks of what we could possibly do to come up with a good argument that won't get us laughed out of the room. So a lot of this video is going to be a lot of don'ts, don't do this, and give you some practical suggestions for picking a topic. So we'll move on to our first tip, which is a narrow topic is always better. You do not want a broad, overarching concept like abortion being right or wrong. That's a bad topic. The reason for that is it's so politically charged, it's so broad, it's hard to make an immediately applicable option for us to discuss in our paper. We want something that can make a difference, per se. So for example, laws regarding the funding for Planned Parenthood, where you stand on that issue. Give your case there. Laws regarding specific types of abortive practices, whether they're right or wrong. That can be addressed. It's specific. It gives you a lot more to work with in a lot of ways, because abortion in general is just too out there, too complicated to address really in the span of the paper that you'll be writing for your English classes, and just in terms of writing a practical paper in general. You really need to be narrow. Focus on one topic. It's easier to persuade on that rather than change someone's entire philosophical worldview. Tip 2. Research. Pick a topic you care about. Don't pick one you're closed-minded about. The absolute worst thing you can say about your viewpoint that makes you lose all credibility is that people who disagree with you are stupid. They aren't. You don't want to pick something that you don't think, where you would want to insult the other side. It does not look favorably for you. It doesn't make people listen to you. It makes us an us versus them mentality. You're out to persuade, which means you need to understand how they think. A great example of this I saw was with this topic, which is a good topic. Bullies should be tried as adult felons if their bullying led to a suicide. Pretty specific thing, could be brought to the House of Representatives for consideration, and there's a lot of pros and cons to this idea. When I was first presented this by a student, they were telling me one of the worst things you could tell me. She told me that there were never any cons to her issue, there was never any problem with her stance. Now, here's the problem with this. If this is an issue worth arguing, there's probably a reason that people disagree with you. And a lot of people who are smarter than you and smarter than me have opposite views from us, and we need to understand this. So, had a particularly bad experience with bullying, and so she had a biased view. Now, I told her to use perspective when trying to come up with cons when she struggled to come up with them. I told her to imagine this from the mother's perspective, the mother of a bully. It changed things quite a bit for her, if you can imagine. So perspective is powerful. Use it and really step into the shoes of your opposition. It'll give you a lot more to work with, and it'll give you a lot of ideas of what exactly it is you need to argue. So that said, that gives us another tip to address the opposition. Pick a topic where you know you can research some opposition, smart opposition. Find smart opponents to a topic, and then address those smart opponents with smart logic. Don't go after the easy guys, go after the hard guys. Lend yourself some credibility. Now, some of you might struggle with picking a topic. So what topic should you do? You might find that you don't really care a great deal about current issues, but we can't limit ourselves to certain things. There are certain things we can't do because it's just not logical to it, wouldn't suffice for our needs. Do not do things that just involve opinions with little bearing on the world, like Ford versus Chevy, or which sport team is better than another sports team. those are opinions. They change. They don't really deal with things that really touch on serious matters, something that would go for law, legal issues, or would really have much impact on our lives. Instead, we want to look for something meaningful. Now, your teachers might forbid certain topics that might be considered overdone, but things like gun control, abortion we've talked about, specifics in certain LGBT rights or LGBT related cases, something really impacting, something that does tear people apart, where you could be a refreshing source of dialogue on a complex issue. There are plenty of websites where you can look up these types. So it's just a quick Google search away from looking up a lot of topics, but you really need to find something you care about, and you want to start broad and then go narrow from there. I hope this is a good start for you as you begin delving into different topics that you could choose from. Best way to know what's currently hot in argument is ask your teacher for help, check with peers whether things that are being talked about even around the school, and most importantly, watch the news, especially for narrowing down topic. What's something timely, what's something really regarding us right now? That will help you a lot. So read the newspaper, watch the news, but really try to pick a meaningful topic. Hope you get a good start, and I look forward to working with some more samples with this as we progress.